It's no secret that our beautiful Atlantic beaches are a major contributor to Worcester County's robust tourism economy. We welcome millions of tourists to the Maryland coast each year to enjoy the sun, surf, and fun in Ocean City, and to explore the wild shores of Assateague Island. While the vast majority of those who visit our beaches know to leave only footprints and take only memories, a few bad apples can spoil the beach when they leave their trash behind. To help keep our beaches beautiful and our tourism economy thriving, local organizations host cleanups in Ocean City and on Assateague Island. One of these fine organizations that helps clean up the beach at Assateague is the Assateague Coastal Trust. With me today is Assateague Coast Keeper Kathy Phillips. Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
Great. So just tell me a little bit about ACT.
So ACT has been here in the watershed advocating for clean water, smart land use for almost 50 years.
Wow.
We'll be coming up on our 50th anniversary next year. Assateague Coastal Trust hosts the Waterkeeper program down here, the Assateague Coast Keeper. And we advocate for clean water that is swimmable and fishable. We make certain that regulations are being complied with, and we work with local, county, and state officials to make sure that everything is being done to maintain clean water here in our watershed.
So Kathy, what does the Assateague Coastal Trust do to help keep the beaches clean here in Worcester County?
So one of our programs is Trash Free Assateague, and we bring volunteers over to mostly the north point here of Assateague Island, but we also work with the National Park Service further down into the park, and we monitor sites up in the town of Ocean City to pick up as much litter as possible. This is a very big problem here, that people are not picking up their trash, and especially here on the island. When you come to visit the island, you need to bag up your trash and take it back with you, even if you come over on a boat. So our Trash Free Assateague program has been very successful the past year. We also organize and run, in partnership with the National Park Service, the International Coastal Cleanup on Assateague Island National Seashore, and we do that every year in September. That brings out 300 or more volunteers a year to pull trash off of Assateague Island.
Thanks for everything you guys do. That's fantastic. So Kathy, this may be a really silly question that we're out here on this beautiful beach today, but what is the value of clean beaches to our coastal tourism economy here in Worcester County?
Our coastal watershed contributes over $1 billion annually to the state's economy. And that depends on happy tourists coming to a clean town and being able to fish for healthy fish and be able to go swimming in the bays and in the ocean without having to worry. Assateague Island National Seashore alone contributes over $1 million to our local economy here, supporting hotels and restaurants and our fishing industry. So it is very important that we have litter-free beaches, that we have no litter floating around in our waterways, because our economy depends on the quality of our beaches.
So on our walk this morning, you can see that the issue of people littering at Assateague isn't recent. Anybody remember Shasta Cola has the old pop top? We couldn't find a date, but Billy, tell me about this relic we found here today.
This is one of the things that I'll point out to when I bring folks over here. Is some of the erosion in the dune here will expose relic trash that is beneath the dune line. We find Budweiser cans from 1983. Just found this guy from, looks like the 80s to me.
Looks like the 80s.
Just goes to show, once that stuff ends up over here on the beach, that's where it remains. It gets covered up by sand, and it's literally a layer cake of trash.
All right, so we'll take this one away. Don't litter at Assateague. With me is Billy Weiland, founder of Trash Free Assateague and the communications director for the Assateague Coastal Trust. Billy, how are you?
How's it going, Jim?
Good, man. So for folks who don't know, how does Trash Free Assateague help here at this beautiful island?
So aside of the easiest thing to do, we bring folks over here, large groups, small groups, to do beach cleanups. Part of each of those beach cleanups, the first thing I'll do is I will present 15 to a half-hour program.
Yep.
educating folks about the problems with single-use plastics in the free environment. Aside of beach cleanups, when we bring people over here, we present a 15-minute to a 30-minute program encouraging folks to adopt more sustainable lifestyle practices, because the change is going to happen at the individual level. That's what's going to drive our corporate and manufacturers to change their ways. If the demand's not there, they're going to be forced to work towards developing other alternatives to their product.
So Billy, what are the typical types of trash you find when you do a cleanup here at Assateague?
There's always surprises with every beach cleanup, but along the high tide lines, you find bottle caps, cigarette butts, plastic water bottles. Styrofoam is extremely pervasive. Once that ends up in the free environment, it breaks off into smaller nodules, and that makes it even harder to clean up from the beaches.
Right.
But it's primarily it's plastics, because once they're in the environment, that's where they remain. They break down into smaller pieces and eventually become microplastics, which just work their way up the marine food chain, and eventually we're consuming that as well. On this particular part of Assateague, being on the very northern tip, I like to refer to it as it really has become the filter for Ocean City and West Ocean City. Every turn of the tides, if the wind is a certain direction, wave energy, it's washing all that stuff up here onto the northern tip of the island. If you walk down about a mile south of the wedge jetty here, where the shoal comes in to meet the beach again, all that wave energy is washing in plastic and trash that's coming out and getting sucked out of the inlet, getting caught up into that shoal, and the wave energy is washing it right up on the beach. So just about a mile south of here, it's like a graveyard of plastics.
Oh, man, it's a good thing you guys are out here doing this. So Billy, in 2019, how much have you cleaned up out here? How many pounds of trash have you guys collected? So
we've collected just about 1,000 pounds of trash over here. And again, most of that we're talking little teeny pieces of plastic.
It adds up.
It adds up, and there's a ton of it. And it's you can come out here one day, do a beach cleanup, come back the next day. It's a barrier island that stands constantly shifting,
right, sure.
So it exposes more and more relic trash that's collected here over the years.
Now, something cool this summer you guys did, there's a big event here in Ocean City, a lot of folks know about it, called the White Marlin Open. And you guys did, rather than a fish weigh-in, a trash weigh-in. Tell me about that.
That's right. We had the privilege of being able to attend the 2019 White Marlin Open, surrounded by all the big boats. We pull up there in our little skiff, and so we went up. We had collected 28.5 pounds of, 28.6 pounds of trash that day to tack on to our total cumulative trash that we've collected since TFA was founded in 2008.
It was really cool. I had to be out there that day, and it was nice to see all the anglers kind of applaud that, because there's a direct connection, as you mentioned, between the trash we're picking up here at Assateague and the fish they're catching out there in the ocean.
Yep, and we consume that. It's small fish.
Yeah.
Big fish eat the small fish. We eat the big fish, and ultimately, those chemicals that are in that plastic, that ends up in our bodies.
Yeah, I'll take my tuna steak without the plastic bottle caps on the side. Thanks.
That's great.
All right, so apart from the kind of disgustingness of trash on the beaches, what are the connections between the trash you're picking up here at Assateague and the marine life that we love here in Worcester County?
Yeah, so there is that visual component of it, that the straw going through like the turtle's nose or something, birds getting caught up in net, or six-pack plastic rings.
Right.
But what I've found in doing the research for this plastic over the past couple of years is the most alarming thing is how the plastic breaks down. As it breaks down, it releases the chemicals that go into its manufacturing, the manufacturing process. One of those being BPA, biphenyl A. Once that's in the free environment, it bioaccumulates up the food chain. It is a hormone mimicker, so it causes anything from cognitive issues, cancers. That's extremely alarming to me. One of the statistics that I've repeatedly find in the research is not over 95% of human beings alive today, walking today, have BPA in their system.
Oh my goodness. So there's the visual aspects, like you said, with sea turtles and birds getting tangled up, and then there's that kind of insidious, invisible component.
It's the stuff we don't see.
Ugh. So Billy, how can the average person help keep Assateague clean?
It's sustainable lifestyle choices. Reducing, reusing, recycling being the very last alternative. So,
all right, and then if they want to join you on a trash-free Assateague cleanup, how can they find out?
All of our information about these trash-free Assateague cleanups in the program are on our website. We have an upcoming events calendar on the TFA website at act4bays.org.
At act4bays.org. Billy, thanks, man.
You bet, Jim.
Thanks to the Assateague Coastal Trust, partner organizations, and volunteers, Worcester County can boast some of the finest beaches anywhere on the Atlantic coast. So do your part when you visit our beaches. Join a trash-free Assateague cleanup, reduce, reuse, recycle where you can, but most importantly, don't be a beach bum. Clean up after yourself when you're traveling Maryland's beach and beyond.
Yeah. This just fell, I think, that last storm. The bad part was really just around the corner.